Hello, everybody, and welcome back from our first and second match. Of course, this is FSL PUBG Mobile Ladies Open 2. And this is, of course, partnered with Intel and Yahoo. And I am Sis Jenny. Together with me is Mochi.
Hi, and we have been able to witness some really interesting happenings during the Miramar map. I mean, we've been expecting some early interactions, but we didn't expect it to happen that early. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, we have been able to see a clutch as well from the glimpse of Asteria, which is really interesting. Like, I never expected that they will be able to win the whole match with the last woman standing herself. But other than that, let us see our updated scoreboard from the
Yep.
earlier's match.
Whoa. okay.
Nice.
I'll see it. I see the message here. Assyria is definitely trying to catch up upon Rage, even though, yes, because the first round they managed to feed on a lot of elimination points. Of course, that's an advantage. And of the previous round, they did not make it into the last few circles, but they had a good fight with one of the teams earlier over on towards the north side. So they managed to get a little bit of the elimination points, not getting that survival points yet. But hey, I has she goddess literally doing a consistent game. So even though they are at 26 total with total points of 26, I think it's able they're able to catch up upon, especially if they're gonna give their A game for Sanhok. Again, this is just the qualification round. Tomorrow we will have to see the grand finals where Group A and Group B, which you will see a little bit later today. But of course, Mochi, take it away with the rest.
Of course, we still have our members here for the side of LMS Alicats. Is that right? Yeah, LMS
Yeah.
Alicats has been able to actually face up against the rest of the remaining teams here, like Range, Glyphs, and IHC. I mean, they've been able to start it up with a really good position along with Hero Zero, but sadly, they haven't been able to survive that long, all because of the gun duels that's been happening and all of the free fires has been put out from them. They try to breach the distances, but entirely not enough, and they've been caught in the crossfire between these two teams of Rage and Lee Sassy as well as the Glimpse of Asteria, but still did fine. But also we have Astra Esports. I mean, this time we haven't been able to see their occurrence, or rather their overall state, because it's still a struggle for them to actually do something in the rest of the teams. They've been able to put a fair play, but at the same time, DVD Rubbies, I hope that they will be able to do something else, because right now they're just on to 2 points. Like, imagine what statement would it be if ever that they tried to dominate this remaining map, which is Sanhok. So I guess that will be leaving a great statement, and if ever they will be able to do that, then that would be great, because that would just mean that they would still have the chance to go for our top five for our group A, and hopefully that we'll be seeing more of that this time around, since the rest of the teams here are still, like what we said, they've been able to do like some consistency, but if not consistency, they've been able to perform better, and hopefully they'll be able to carry on with that this third match.
Yep, definitely. And talking about Sandhog, it's all about who gets the fast rotation, and then they won't really take precedence in the elimination points because it's a small map and it's quite hard to
Yeah.
literally just keep on having elimination points because they need to keep rotating and everybody can hear one another, especially if the circle decides to scam. So when we see a circle scam, a lot of these teams will have problems in coming in, knowing how Sandhog usually the circle will close into three islands and coming into the center where the a small portion of the lake is, so that's really critical. But if it does decide to go to the normal typical circle, which I would say is either Camp Charlie or even Paradise, that is going to be quite a drastic move for a few of these teams because they have to keep on taking vantage points over vantage points, and we're going to see a lot of them will do a whole lot of proning in the early game. So I'm not exactly sure, and agreed with what Mochi says. DBD need to step up their game and make this game happen. If they really can show themselves that who they are, and they can get a lot of elimination points doing a tactical game, and hopefully they won't crash into another person's drop spot. But you know what? The game is ready. Let us fly into the three beautiful archipelago of Sandhog. Here we go.
Here we go. Oh my, that is a weird flight path. I mean, it's all squared at the left area of our map, but at the same time, we're seeing some really good dispersal from all of our teams right now. Specifically, Hero Zero has been able to go the farthest right now, and it seems like they'll be getting this whole archipelago nearly for themselves. That's a great opportunity for them to rack themselves up with all of the stuff that they have to get. On the other hand, the rest of the teams here are quite close with one another. Like what Sis Johnny says, it's going to be them being able to hear one another, might be looting even, but man, there's going to be a
Yeah.
fight.
I don't know what luck is this. DBD, they are very close again with another team over in Cow. And we're looking into team SH or team number 9. It's, of course, Stronghold Savior Philippines. They are definitely right outside of Cow. Getting information. I'm seeing Jess here being very tactical, just to drop by right beside Cow, doing the looting just outskirts of Cow. But definitely she will get information about the rotation of DBD. I hope this will be a better game for them. Looking into where they are, it's an early threat for one of the team. The only team that have somebody right beside them is it happens to be DVD. I'm not exactly sure if this is actually their meta or the way they want to play to be close to another team and try to eliminate them first. If it is, then they've got to do a better game, I would say, because they lost the battle earlier on with IHC, coming into the same drop spot over in Monte Noivo, over in Mirama. So right now they are very close by to a Philippines team, and hopefully they get to show themselves what they are really made of.
Yeah, and actually, we have just also observed from earlier on that Stronghold Save has been able to actually kind of not good, not bad, but been able to go for an average run from the land of Miramar. And I guess, oh my gosh, my heart jumped because of the those models. Oh my lord! But yeah, like
Okay.
what I've been saying, seems like it'd still be great if ever the DVD has been able to establish themselves up there, being able
Mhm.
to put Stronghold Savior down as well. But yeah, so far it seems like they've been able to go for specific areas here. Seems like we'll be seeing some the alley cat. Ona has been able to spot someone here from the side of Stronghold Savior as well.
Cats, wow! I'm pretty impressed with how fast they are rotating. And you know what? They already have flanked out. Somebody is up there, on towards the hills, which is Bika. Getting that information. They are actually cordoning off the area of where Z is at, so we can see the 4 pointers. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Hmm.
I said, spoke too soon. They've got their area covered by this one player from Savior. So nope, she's not gonna survive at all. We're gonna finish off with that QBZ. Back to the lobby. Now gonna find the rest of Team 9 around the area.
Wow, it seems like Zai would no longer see the light of day this time, and there would be some any trade-offs that's gonna happen between these two teams as well. But at least they've been able to fend the rest off. But at the same time, it's still a loss on their end, specifically this early of this match. But once again, it seems like DBD has been able to put themselves in a really good position, and it seems like all of the attention has been already been shifted here for the side of Ali Cats. The rest of the other teams. Seems like but we'll be seeing some presence from range as well. So seems like there's going to be three teams who might actually meet each other later on.
Oh gosh, I'm not really liking the fact that they are really going for the elimination points. Teams are getting closer and closer, and it's only the first circle.
Hmm.
Okay, I thought that was a tap, but that was actually a hit by a teammate, so no damage being caused here for Team Rage. So again, you see, they are hearing the shots. They are coming towards the areas of where they probably, gauge exactly where the shots are coming from. And this is a team from Malaysia with a suppressor in hand, so she's ready to take on whatever fights there is. And this is with a Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, a Thompson with a suppressor. So we'll try to cordon off the areas of Alley Cat. So we are seeing a third party engagement here. Of course, there's no engagement yet, but they are going to build it out. They will build it out.
Yeah, definitely gotta build it up, but at the same time, thinking like what you said, no engagements, but they are well aware of each other's existence and where their positions might be. But
Mm-hmm.
so far, I am glad that DBD hasn't been able to actually encounter any of these people, and hopefully, I wouldn't be able to jinx it, and hopefully, they'll be able to have a really good and smooth running run this time around. But so far, it seems like we'll be seeing some. Once again, there might be a possible gatekeep that might happen here later on, but I guess we can't worry about that right now. The rest of the people here for the side of Hero Zero is quite far, but at least that will be giving a lot more time, a lot more space, and a lot more opportunity to secure all of the stuff that they need. But oh, seems like someone's been put down from the kill feed.
Oh, what happened there? I'm not so sure exactly which corners that is, but I'm seeing a crowd over in the northeast area of Cow
Oh,
and the areas of Paradise. Yeah, a few teams are coming towards this area instead of coming into Cam Alpha, which is something quite surprising. IHC again being pretty dominant, choosing places like Bootcamp, but DBD again, you see, they have been gatekeep. They know the information. This is coming from Savior from the other side, who actually patrol them, or look at exactly where they are going to be. So DVD again, they are caught in and looking into the perimeters. I don't think the circle will close into areas of Cow. It will move downwards, and this is going to be a problem for DVD. The only way of escape, at least, is to swim.
Free Fire is gonna be put out here from CSIG. But at the same time, it seems like there's already one more player being low here from the side of DBD, and hopefully they'll be able to get themselves uh, or rather pack themselves up and leave the perimeter. But at the same time, I think it's still manageable for them. But seems like Jazz's eyes has already been locked into this specific area, and I guess it will be quite difficult for them to actually leave this place for themselves. Going to be prohibiting any opportunities of leaving. Even the vehicles wheels are already being gunned as well. So that is probably going to be a possible problem for DBD. But hopefully there's still another vehicle around and they'll be able to fend it off.
Yeah, they are heavily gatekeep right now for
Yeah.
DVD, but that's not the end for Savior, because there is other teams stacking upon them right behind. We got Little Cats around the corner, and then we've got Rage around the corner. So it's a third party after a fourth party affair. We can see how they plan themselves out already. So it's really waiting for where the circle would be. Again, I might just jinx it. The circle will be between three islands, and it's going to close into the lakeside near where you can see three different islands, and then you see one small stream of lake there, and it close into these areas. And usually when it close into these areas, it's very very hard, because teams who will rotate, they won't get covers, because you can see Cam Alpha is being ruled out right now by 2A, who has that vantage point. They are able to see information. Not sure exactly they would take the counter, or they would try to engage where they are, because if they do that and if the circle don't close on them. But you know what, Rage have already seen one another,
Oh,
and this is Alicats over onto the kill feed here. But we are looking into 2A, who has the vantage point in Camp Alpha. But now we try to change our screens into Rage already have met neck and neck with, of course, Alicats.
oh my. And so far, they haven't been able to actually revive one of their players, but we are looking forward for them to still pursue this fight. Seems like we'll be seeing a couple of members here being knowledgeable of where each other is. Molotov's going to be thrown, but at the same time, not actually entirely connecting to one another. No one's been able to. Oh no, Tosca's already down from the Molly. That is quite unfortunate, and now there's nowhere for her to go. And if ever that someone's going to be there to save her, then that's going to be a problem because they have no choice but to face up against these two members from the side of Rage, who is just guarding her body.
Hmm. But I'm seeing them carrying a DBS. So, yep, the shotgun meta is still here. They are Topa is seen away by Thompson and Suppressor trying to push away. But Nikki, with a lot of the damage being taken over, she's taking it out. But that's not enough now. Early has to come in the game. One already down. It's not a good trade off, I would say. Nikki again, next one to go down. Not looking good for Rage. Now with that
Oh,
shotgun in hand and managed to play that very well game. For now, at least they get themselves a trade off. Now doing a little bit of that reset. I really like the split coming from Rage here, but they're not getting a good gameplay out of it because they got third
oof.
party by glimpse of hysteria. They've got a glimpse of where this is happening, so they're trying to feed on whatever kill points they can get, kill skills from the distance here. But it's not the end for Alley Cats and also Rich. But this is a good thing, at least for DBD. They are able to come out and just fight with one team who is currently gatekeeping them. At least try to swim away from the fights here. They have to hear the shots, and probably team 2A will divert their attention on towards the fight here that is happening over very close by to Hartin.
Actually, I would like to point out that Rage has been able to go for a really good counter as well from that
Mm-hmm.
last team and finally been able to eradicate it. But the next problem here is going to be for the side of Glimpse of Stare. Like what they've said, they've been able to pinpoint where they currently are, and the fact that they've been able to conquer one team already. But at the same time, it seems like what you said, it's still the gatekeeping happening here on the side of DBT, which is the team of SH or the stronghold. So there's going to be definitely a problem for them, specifically all because of the fact that they're out in the open here. Just the grass being their covers, and at the same time, it will be a difficult time for them to actually run over and around between this area. But Anya's been just has just been able to put out all of the shots here, not entirely connecting to anyone, but still the fact that they are having this difficulty of finding a really good position to rotate is undeniably existent here at the current situation.
Yep, of course, DBD have to finish up the battle here. They didn't choose to swim, so they've got to battle this within the team that is right in front of them, the opponent. But what we did not get to cover earlier on was actually how Rage managed to bring down the entire team of Elicats. Again, this is with assisted fire from Glimpse of Asteria over on towards the opposite direction of where Hartin was. So, basically, the team that was caught in the middle was Alley Cats. They did a good they put up a good fight. They did a trade off, but unfortunately, there was third party. They couldn't build up the game that well. But now Rage have stole that place away from them, and they are gonna take precedence out of that place. They can see a lot of things here. They can do something out of nothing. And looking into DBD, they're gonna try and do an unorthodox rotation. They decided to U-turn and try to go a big rotation into where Paradise is, I believe, because this is already the second circle. It's not really painful to tank it out a little bit more, and at the same time they can pick up first aids as they go to play that healing game. It's still possible, and then you know what, it's going to be a free and easy game, but it can be quite crazy if, let's just say, um team SH is able to kind of predict exactly where they're going to rotate out, and they will gatekeep into that
Yeah.
portion again, and then that will be like, oh my god. you know
How
it's
did
like,
you
oh,
know?
okay, yeah, it's another nightmare. We just got up from another nightmare, and
Oh
it's just gonna come
my.
into another one.
Imagine doing your utmost best, all of the struggles that you've been able to face just in order for you to get out of the blue zone, but been welcomed
Yeah,
by the same people who are gatekeeping
yeah,
you from earlier on. Oh my.
yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be crazy
Definitely a
because
nightmare.
I think some of them, or one of the players from Team SH, is able to see exactly where they are running, and that's the information that is being given. That's the reason why probably they are gatekeeping over to that portion, because where else can DBD run into without a vehicle? They can just pick
Yeah.
up first aids. But anyways, look into the current circle. Again, being in the middle of the circle in such vulnerable places is still IHC. They've got the guts, man.
Mm-hmm. They're out in the open. They've been able to pass up from the boot camp all the way into the upper left archipelago, and now it is going to be an opportunity for them to actually just, you know what, find a really good position for themselves. But like what they said, all the guts here, because they are not looking for any shelter, they're not looking for any cover. It's just them with their bare bodies looking out for any people they can kill. They're up for the hunt, if I may say. And all of them are just really confident with all of their prowess and the dual skills that they currently have. And they might actually spot someone here from the side of HG, and there's going to be an opportunity for them to get to gatekeep them if ever that the circle would be contracting towards the upper left side of this area once again.
Hey, yep, and just gonna hold on to it. They are over in the famous L-shaped house, or it looks like an L actually. If you guys look into the mini map,
Yeah.
they're just gonna wait out here because it's like I said, the circle is gonna go into somewhere where you got to be quick. If you do a little bit of the bad rotation, people would see you, and it's going to be hard to counter fire. A whole lot of long distance engagement will happen. Hardly there will be CQCs. Probably in the fifth circle you will see crashing onto one another, but as of now, this is where the proning game begins, and then probably we might just see healing games coming from DBD. But SH is being their nightmare again, gatekeeping
Yeah.
exactly where they might want to come in. But you know what? DBD decided to outsmart them and leaving one person behind to pick up all the first hits for that healing game. So that's actually quite smart for them to do so. But SH will apparently meet up with Rage because they wanted to gatekeep, but unfortunately meeting up with another team that might just take their Rage upon on.
It's then again, wow. But at the same, at least they like what you said. They've been able to do something interesting and at least been able to strategize beforehand. Like, you know what? Okay, just leave all the heals towards this human, and the rest will be going into the circle and hope, or rather, cross fingers that the other team who were gatekeeping us earlier on is no longer there, and they're no longer there, but. As well as the fact that it seems like they will be having some encounters from what you're seeing here on your screens. I see Goddess is well aware that someone is at the other side of this stream. It is going to be Hero Zero. Mikasa would be accepting some bullets from that, but it's just quite low. Just gonna patch yourself up, and I guess that will be a good signal for them to actually plot of what they should do next. Considering that once again, if ever that the circles contracts, it is going to be a problem for Hero Zero because they're at this uh other side of this stream.
Yep, totally agree that they are in the compound pretty much caught up. But if the circle decides to go on them, then they will get a little bit of that passive gameplay or even the survival games. That should be it. But at this point of time, we're
Oh,
just seeing long distance shots here, and that was definitely a good shot over towards Mikasa. She got damaged quite a bit, tanking it out. Now trying to do a little bit of that healing. Oh, but not to forget the people of Cam Alpha. Now they've got a vantage point, so this is going to be troublesome for IHC, but knowing IHC, I think they've got the angles covered. But here we go, the circle. Now, this is a circle from hell because 2A, they got themselves a very good place to get information, to do a lot of things with it. And there you go. One information have already been leaked out and brought somebody down from a vantage point. And Rage will have to find their way in because they are over in boot camp. The only way in is to swim.
yes, and I guess we've been able to predict quite a bit of that circle, and I feel happy about it. But I guess some of the teams are not. Considered as you're already seeing someone already being put down here from the side of Hero Zero, and IRC Goddess is just being proactive in gatekeeping. They're like, you know what? Let's not give them any chance of passing through, and let's just not let them put it or go into this circle, considering that they were able to do so because you know how IHC God is truly pristine in terms of how they were able to conquer each and every team that they're passing up against, except for the fact that there are a lot of people involved. You know, it's going to be a struggle for them, but at the same time, Ichua, yeah, she's been able to get something from IRC Goddess, and now there's already an
Oh.
opportunity for them to swim through. Okay, that's a lot of courage that they have right now.
But for strangers have their eyes onto IHC. IHC, they gotta keep their eyes open because currently probably the one that is seeing them in their crosshairs is the team of 2A right on top of Cam Alpha, and then right on top of the other hill we are seeing four strangers having their eyes peeled onto IHC. So it's gonna be a hard battle because it's gonna be a lower ground and a vantage ground. I don't know how they're gonna get their bullets up there, but all they gotta do is just to stay put right now, not let them see any kind of movements. At least for Mikasa, she's pretty much stuck here because there is a team right behind Hero to Zero just joining into this bandwagon. Everybody's just going to squeeze into this small place, but Sakura getting that angle covered. I really like how they planted themselves, but over in the kill feed, we're seeing Asteria. Also,
Hmm.
2A have garnered somebody down over onto the kill feed. Again, this is
Ooh,
DBD. DBD having to get into the circle, but they've got himself a healer somewhere. Oh, apparently the healer did not make it through, so it's just Elvira and Sunshine. I'm not exactly sure as to how much first aids they've got themselves. Only 9. I don't think that's sufficient for the entire circle, so they gotta do something onto it for the survival game.
Aaron's just making DBD have a difficult time. Like they haven't been able to do something from
Yeah.
our last maps, and this time it is still the same thing because of
Yeah.
Stronghold being able to gatekeep them, and now they got no chance to actually do something considering there's already two people down, and we're seeing some players actually being eliminated because they're out of the play zone. But look at that, 2A Lil Yuga has been able to secure someone here from IC Goddess, and like what you said, I mean, they've been able to prop themselves up in such great places, but I guess in terms of manpower, it would be quite difficult for them to actually respond to one another, considering they're quite of a distance that they have to breach before reaching one another.
Ah, but smartly from Lily here. Already had the shots fired from four strangers. She's trying to cover that angle so that they can't find an easy entrance to come in. But if she were to spray quite early, I would say that's a giveaway for this sniper tower to work. It's a good place that she's in now. She's got to play it right, but decided to jump out because probably, you know what, I want to fit on towards whatever that is happening here. She wants to find something to fit upon. We are seeing the kill feed again. IHC managed to bring down somebody, but two-way showing themselves that hey, I'm the boss here. Duka again being I was about to
Oh.
compliment her, but she did not get to come into the circle, so she will have to bleed out right outside. And two-way taking advantage of this vantage point again. Information is key. Now Lily will try to gatekeep people from four strangers to come in, and then Victoria is not gonna keep quiet. Victoria will spray onto hero to zero, but now we're looking into four strangers trying to get their way into the circle.
Oh my, that's too bad. But we're seeing heavy presence here between these four teams of four strangers, 2A, and as well as what they call this, um Hero Zero, right? And as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
as GL. But GL only has one more remaining member here with it, which is Manok. But we'll be seeing if Manok would still be able to clutch this out. It's pretty similar to what one of their members did earlier on. But let's not cut it short because so far Hero Zero is in a really good position here, being able to pinpoint Abby. Now she's already down, and they're trying to get rid of her, even the vehicle itself. And now it is going to be two more people, or rather three more people here for the side of four strangers, but at the same time she is quite in a difficult position. They have to rotate now. They're already here at the lower grounds, and now they're being spotted out here by IC Goddess, while the Manok here is just looking out for any people who might actually he will be able to, or she will be able to catch off guard.
Oh, Manok will have to tank it out, but will get spotted
Ooh.
on with assisted fire from 2A from the top of Camel Fine. You know what? They are sharing the space with four strangers, but four strangers will find it hard to get into the perimeters because I think Lily is actually gunning them down or giving the pressure fire. They can't get into the circle. What will happen is that if they do that, they don't have any covers, they don't have any props except for the trees. If they are able to run straight into, yep, I think they're gonna just do that. There you go. Trees will be their defense mechanism. But here, Victoria, being the one man
Ooh.
army, gutting down H20 or Hero to Zero. No, they're not gonna come in. And there you go, Lily. The defense mechanism for two has gone down. Now, this is gonna be an entrance for four strangers to come in. What we are looking into now is we know the circle. The circle belongs to IHC, even though they are only one person alive. A grenade has been tossed over, but no Kobe's at all.
Yep, not going to be connecting to either of the members here for the side of 2A. But the thing here is they're in a really good area here. Like they're already near to Victoria, but at the same time, Victoria might actually face up against them earlier than expected. Because if ever they would be able to actually execute one another, then that would be indeed third party between one another. But so far, it seems like they will be taking their time here as long as the blue zone will be reaching them so far. But at least it seems like Victoria is just watching. Like, you know what? let me just chill here. Let me see this unveil. Like, and if ever that will be, you guys will be loyal, I
Oh.
guess we'll be able to strike. But I guess a little more because Mars has been able to spot her off that early. That is
Oh.
really an eagle eye here from Mars.
Now we're looking into a 3v2 affair. Who's gonna go down first? They can do a flanking. Yeah, we're looking into Emers. She will do a flank. She wants to do the flank, but I think 2A will try to work with one another. Now, this is a good tactical skill. They're gonna try and pay firepower with firepower. So we got three women alive. Nobody is a kingmaker. It really depends on who will see one another first. Of course, they are throwing off whatever they can with whatever troubles they have got. They've got
Mm-hmm.
themselves. They deployed a few smokes. A few mollies have gone out, but nobody's tanking the damage yet. They're trying to look for one another. I mean, actually, Force Rangers can do a push, but because they're using their minds, they're gonna make it a little bit hard for 2A to actually spot them out.
Yeah, actually, I have to agree with what you've said, but at the same time, it seems like we'll be seeing to a at the lower ground might actually affect the way that how they're able to
Woo!
perceive one another. But look at this, it
Nice.
seems like one more member here, but aside the four strangers, each are already going down. That will be the counter here between Auntie Rouge. It's going to be good trade, but now
Whoa!
Wisdom. It seems like she hasn't been able to survive the fall, and instead it's going to be four strangers esports who will be hailed victorious for our third map of the group A.
Man, but I really like how 2A decided to make it even difficult for them, even though it was a given. They kind of already know that manpower they can't win the fight, but they make it hard for four strangers to get that particular chicken dinner. So it was really a smart gameplay, even though the true winners right now over in Sanhok is four strangers with the utilizing the hills very well. Again, these two came from Cam Alpha Hill, so they've got themselves the advantage in the sense of knowing the rotations of other teams. But do not disregard IHC being one man army for each of these players, even though they got themselves two elimination points, but they guard the entire pointers. And it was hard for teams like H2E to even come in because of IHC. So at number 4, we've got Hero to Zero with two elimination points. And then we've got number 5, which is just Asteria with 6 elimination points. Number 6 is DBD. Unfortunately, again, did not get to perform at all, but this time they got themselves at number 6, so that's okay. A given stage at least for the survival points. Rage managed to get 5 elimination points, standing up to their name. And then we've got Team SH, Savior, who got gatekeep like mad for DBD to come in with 1 elimination points. And of course, Alley Cats, who got outsmarted this time round with 1 elimination point at number 9.
Wow, it seems like these teams were able to prove themselves, and I guess we'll be seeing the final tally for our Group A later on, and so that we'll be able to find out where the top 5 teams from Group A will be, or who we will be seeing tomorrow in our playoffs. But once again, I really love the trend here because it isn't just one team has been able to advance. It's always one team or another depending on the strategy. It's all a lot of factors by chances,
Mhm.
by drops, by locations, and yeah, I guess that is what's the beauty with PUBG is all about as well, is that they were able to exhibit themselves, all the skills that they've got in a different way. So that makes it a lot more interesting for us to actually see what
Mhm.
is about to happen and what may be unveiling later on. But yeah, I guess that would be the end for our group. Once again, we might be seeing the top 5 later on, or the top 10 later on, depending on what would be what do you call it, the plan here. But yeah, it seems like that would be the end of our group A. Once again, I am Mochi and I am with Sis Jenny, and we'll be back for the group B. See ya.